Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yup, what's good, original crew, man? We're back today with another Watch Mojo. Today's video, the most infamous notorious serial killers of the 1990s. We've been doing a lot of serial killers lately. Why is that? I don't know.
Why is that?
I don't know. Those are the videos. See, like, I'm tired of hearing about these people, man. Oh man, they're gonna continue platform these people though, right?
Seems so.
Can we talk about the most infamous victims of serial killers and just shine light on the victims? You know, it's all about what's going to get clicks and views, right? I want to hear about the victims. I want to hear their stories. I want to, praise them, But hey, with that being said, before we get into it, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals.
Lock it in with a thumbs up.
So who you think we might hear about, C?
I have no clue.
You can give me one from the 90s. Just
from the 90s?
Most of them come from the 90s, so who you think? You could at least went with just Jeffrey. Jeffrey's 90s.
I'm talking about Jeffrey. I'm tired.
It said the 10 most infamous and notorious.
But what I'm saying is how many videos we gonna do on the same folks. We gonna talk about.
I'm just saying it might be somebody we never heard about
Jeffrey.
before. Oh, the dude, the Night Stalker.
Okay.
That was the 90s, wasn't it?
I guess.
All right, let's go, man. Let's check it out. Let's see what it's about.
It's been 20 years since Andrew Cunanan's murder spree. His fifth and final victim was Versace.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the most well-known and monstrous serial killers who were active in the 1990s.
Oh, I
there
forgot
was something
her.
about this guy that just made me uncomfortable, and I've jokingly said it made the spidey sense tingle.
Number 10, Danny Rolling.
We had no way of reaching her. The phone hadn't been installed yet. She hadn't called us. And finally, the Powells, who lived closer, went over there.
Have you ever seen Scream? Well, Ghostface and the story as a whole was largely inspired by the crime spree of Danny Rolling. He's perhaps better known as the Gainesville Ripper, his name coming from the Florida city.
I forgot about him. Because who did a video about him? Was that Baller?
Yeah, I think so.
We had learned because he was standing off in the woods money and he had these recordings and all this. Yeah. And he was going up to the
campus, the school.
It wasn't a campus. It was the student apartments. Yeah. Okay.
In which he committed his murders. Over the course of 4 days in August of 1990, Rolling murdered a total of 5 college students after breaking into their apartments.
He went in, I followed him into the apartment and saw the young lady on the bed, and you could see her in a bad position.
He was eventually arrested after robbing a supermarket, and investigators were able to link him to the Gainesville killings. While in prison, Rolling would also confess to a triple homicide in Shreveport in November of 1989, bringing his total body count.
You knew that? That's also from the Ballin' video.
To 8. After feasting on lobster, Rolling was executed via lethal injection on October 25th, 2006.
He got down on his knees and looked up with his flashlight in the bedroom.
And he looked at me and he said, "Don't look. You don't want to see this."
Number 9, Robert Lee Yates.
There's no sense in asking someone like Yates, why did you kill all those women? He wanted to.
The creepy thing about serial killers is that they often hide in plain sight, posing as everymen with respectable jobs. Such was the case of Robert Lee Yates, who served in the U.S. Army while committing his grisly murders. Between 1975 and 1998, Yates killed at least 16 people, with many of his crimes occurring in the city of Spokane, Washington.
Couldn't believe it. I was shocked.
Yeah, especially when I saw him on the news after they had arrested him and he's walking through the hallway. It felt like it was someone else, but that's my dad.
His violent streak ramped up in the mid-90s after retiring as an aircraft pilot. And between 1996
because he just had time. He retired, he like, shit, I ain't got nothing else to do.
No,
I'm saying that his mindset.
You couldn't find nothing else to do. Go golfing. Go take up some classes.
That's boring to him.
I don't care.
I ain't saying.
Out here taking folks' life. Like what?
That's too slow pace for him. He's probably the guy who thrive off of drilling, and he's just like, I got,
Okay, we'll go take some boxing classes or something.
That probably would have made it worse. Now he would have been, I'm gonna beat my victims to death. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
He's a high. He was like, I like high comebacks. You know
go work out.
See, everything you saying ain't gonna
go find anything. You took 16 people. That's a lot of people, bro.
Very, very much so. Too many.
In 1998, he murdered at least 13 women in the area of East Sprague Avenue. Yates was finally arrested after a traffic stop linked his white Corvette to one of the victims, and he is currently serving his life sentence inside Washington State Penitentiary.
When they finally arrested Yates, nobody could believe that.
Bro, he pulled his white Corvette to one of the victims.
That's the only reason.
And he riding around in a Corvette killing?
Be for real.
That's crazy, bro.
That guy
I ain't never heard of that.
Was the serial killer.
Number 8, Joel Rifkin.
Oh, Elaine, he's normal. Your boyfriend is a normal guy. He just happens to have the same name as one of the worst serial killers in the history of New York.
You might recognize the name Joel Rifkin from an episode of Seinfeld, as Elaine gets a boyfriend with the same name and begs him to change it owing to its notoriety. This episode was released in November 1993. Just 5 months after Rifkin was arrested, his Mazda pickup containing the body of his final victim, Tiffany Bresciani.
I came running up, and he was just sitting there, and he put his hands up like this as I approached. That's when I noticed stench.
Rifkin is thought to have murdered 17 women in New York, with all but one murder occurring in the early 1990s. The victims were often killed by Rifkin after being picked up on the street, and their remains were deposited in remote areas and even roadside garbage bags. He was eventually found guilty of 9 of the 17 murders and sentenced to 203 years in prison.
It takes someone who is coldly psychopathic, and by that I mean no guilt, no empathy, no remorse. Somebody who damn well knows what they're doing and knows it's wrong and trying desperately to not get caught.
Number 7, Gary
Look at him, Dulcie. Weird. He got.
But you know something, to us now, like looking at him, because now it's been, displayed, or, the information has been put out there who he is. Mm-hmm. But I wonder, like, would you have thought the same thing even then?
Nah.
Because
because of the time, that was the style.
Yeah,
like that was the style. That was the imagery.
About it. He's just like a normal guy, like any other guy.
Because those big glasses train, they normally attach that to like Jeffrey, and then like, oh, you could should have told by the glasses.
Thing, like,
that was the thing of the '90s, bro. The big like looking nerdish and awkward, like that wasn't a alarming thing from people. You know what I'm saying?
He probably just looked like a nice guy. Like, hey, yeah,
just a normal person, that's a normal neighbor.
Like you walking, oh, hey, you need a ride? Like he doesn't look like, oh my gosh, this man is going to.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
Ray Bowles.
It's not hard to kill somebody. You can kill somebody pretty easy if you have the mindset for it.
Better known as the I-95 killer owing to his primary hunting ground, Gary Ray Bowles murdered 6 men in 1994, with most of his victims living near the Interstate 95 highway. His crimes occurred across a period of 8 months, his first murder occurring on March 15th and his final on November 16th.
He needs to be punished. And I think he needs to have his life taken just like he took all these other people's lives.
Throughout that time, Bowles even found himself on the FBI's most wanted list, often posing as a sex worker killing his clients and then stealing their credit cards. According to Bowles, it all began after his girlfriend received an abortion upon learning that Bowles was a sex worker who often engaged with other men. He then developed a violent hatred towards gay people and began targeting them as a form of misplaced revenge.
I guess it just opened up a monster.
Allegedly spurring him on to a mission to kill.
You problem.
I was on a real adrenaline high. From there on, it was just downhill rage.
Number 6.
So you telling me you killed all these people innocently because, hold on, see, before you in the jail.
Yeah, come on. Get it right. Go ahead.
You was in a relationship.
Uh-huh.
And as your source of income, not only were you a sex worker, you wanted to have, you marketed yourself for gay men to have intercourse with you. And then when your girlfriend found out with child, she decided not to have a child with you because whatever her beliefs, that's her beliefs. That
she found out that you were having sex with men.
Yeah, she like, no, I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
So she turns around and have an abortion. Now you pissed off because of your decisions. Now want to go kill them, all because you feel like they gay, and it's like I can't stand you. I hate you because decisions I made in my life. You can't be mad at that, bro.
I would have put it differently, but that's okay. Whatever.
You put it. No, let me just hear it. Let me hear how you put it.
Because I was gonna be harsh. I don't want to put it.
Be you.
You took long enough. That's cool.
I ain't take long enough. They want to hear from you.
No, that's fine. You
put it how you want to put it.
No, I said that's fine. You put it. You put it okay.
If your ass want to go live again.
Like that had nothing to do with you took. Because you over here wanting to live a double life. Because I don't care how you put it. Because you whatever. You want to make money. And no, you were doing what you wanted to do and who you were. And I feel like maybe the girlfriend was the cover up for it. I don't know. So you directing that energy, projecting that energy on the wrong people. That was a you problem. You was mad at somebody. You should have been mad at yourself. Do whatever you got to do to yourself. But you shouldn't have took their life. Because they over here living their truth.
I agree.
Andre Chikatilo.
They had not dealt with anyone of his caliber before. They were reluctant to admit that things like this would occur in a communist state.
Between 1978 and 1990, Andre Chikatilo committed a series of brutal and sadistic murders that shocked the Soviet Union. Operating mainly in the Rostov Oblast, he was convicted of an astounding 52 killings, with 8 occurring in 1990 alone. Chikatilo often lured destitute victims from train stations or bus stops with offers of help before murdering them in remote areas.
Walking between the gravestones of a small public cemetery, Chikatilo brought them to the site of a shallow, unmarked grave.
He then mutilated the bodies, and while rumors of cannibalism circulated, Chikatilo denied it during his trial. Said legal proceedings were bizarre, with Chikatilo frequently singing, shouting, and rambling incoherently in court. On February 14, 1994, he was executed by a single bullet to the back of the head, the Soviet Union's standard method of capital punishment at the time.
This how they do it? I did it.
Please don't turn around.
You can't even see it coming.
Number 5, Andrew.
Would you want it like that, or would you want to see it coming?
I mean, you know it's coming. Like, you know what we're here for.
Would you like to see, I'm saying, would you like to pow and then, or would you want to?
I don't want either one. So I don't even want to put that out there. But in this case, just get it over with. Just do it.
Do it how you want to
do it. Yeah. And I just pray that one just do the job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Drew Cunanan.
Guess who I met?
Andrew!
Guess. You have to guess. Johnny Versace.
Between April and July of 1997, Andrew Cunanan murdered a total of 5 people. His first victim was a friend, Jeffrey Trail, whom Cunanan beat to death with a claw hammer in a Minneapolis apartment. He proceeded to kill his ex-boyfriend, David Madsen, real estate developer Lee Miglin, and cemetery caretaker William Reese, who was killed solely for his vehicle.
Get on your knees.
Sir, if you're thinking of killing me, please hear this. I'm a married man. We have a son, Troy. And sir, I'd very much like to see them again.
But his most famous kill by far is that of fashion mogul Gianni Versace, who was shot point blank and in broad daylight on the steps of his Miami mansion. Cunanan ultimately took his own life in the middle of an enormous manhunt, leaving his motives for the killings completely unclear.
A marvelously good-looking man talked about the years he spent with Versace in great detail, but also talked about the controversy about whether or not Versace ever met Andrew Cunanan, and that was considered to be one of the foundational reasons for this murder.
Number 4, Paul Bernardo.
Yeah, I remember watching. I forgot who did it. It's the same people who did the OJ joint, right? And they did end up doing. And I didn't finish it because I was like, the story just. It was like it's so much to the story than when I heard it as a kid. And I was just like, huh?
Yeah.
And I was like, if y'all hear anything, they're working on the roof across the street, so I don't know if it can pick up. But yeah, his story is it's a lot to the story. And unfortunately, we'll never hear the true answers of the story, though.
Because I would like to know, because like, what just make you all of a sudden start doing all this stuff? Your friend, what's that, ex-boyfriend?
Yeah, somebody
ran for a car. Just take the car. Like, well, you got to take my life. Just take the car here. Material. Thank you. Bye. You know?
Facts.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Joe and Carla Homolka.
Breaking news involving one of our country's most notorious killers, Paul Bernardo. He has just been denied parole again. Marks the second time Bernardo has been denied freedom. His first was 2 years ago, and that was rejected in just 30 minutes.
Some of the most infamous and disturbing crimes in Canadian history were committed by husband and wife duo Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka. Shortly before Christmas of 1990, the villainous duo drugged Homolka's sister Tammy, and she died after choking on her own vomit. Her death was ruled as an alcohol-related accident, as the duo had spiked her rum and eggnog. They got off scot-free and proceeded to kidnap and murder 2 further girls, Leslie Mahaffey and Kristen French.
Remember, he encased their bodies in cement after dismembering them. I mean, I know we're in a different day and age of low self-esteem and a different culture, but it doesn't matter whether you're in 1995 or 2021. This was not a spur-of-the-moment, one-day spree.
When they were finally arrested, Homolka struck an extremely controversial plea deal, offering to rat on Bernardo in exchange for just 12 years in prison. He was sentenced to life. Homolka was released in 2005 and currently lives in Quebec.
Canada's notorious school...
No. You know about her?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. We done did a video, and she was brought up. It was like the most notorious women.
It must have been a while ago.
It was like, I will say it's been a while ago. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like she's just as much as guilty.
Now, I do remember.
But she flipped on him to testify against him, so she can give.
I do remember the sister's face.
No, you remember the story. Well, you don't. I'll say this: you don't remember, but you heard of it before. I will say
but
that.
But I do recognize the sister. I do recognize her face. That's crazy.
Yeah.
She should have got Y'all was doing it guilty. Together.
And that's the
I don't want
the pushback. That's the pushback of the whole case is she is just as guilty as he is. You cannot convict him, and all because you want
She probably
she probably was the mastermind.
She probably was the mastermind.
Oh, that what you just said?
I just said that.
Schoolgirl killer is an occasional volunteer at a Montreal school. City News has learned Carla Homolka has been in the classroom and on a field trip.
Number 3, Eileen Warren.
You ain't hear that because you too busy yanking your head at me. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
What you say?
I'm not gonna repeat it, but I.
She did. You ain't hear him for real, did you?
I heard a little bit.
What he say?
I heard something.
What was she spotted?
Something out of school.
Notorious schoolgirl killer is an occasional volunteer at a Montreal school. City News has learned Carla Homolka has been in the classroom and on a field trip.
Number 3, Eileen Warnos.
And now Central Florida is being threatened with news of yet another round of serial killings. 8 men have been shot to death in cold blood on Central Florida highways.
Most people know Eileen Wuornos from Charlize Theron's Oscar-winning performance in Monster. However, that film has been criticized for portraying Wuornos in a far more sympathetic light than she deserved. While Monster painted her as a victim, she was in reality a manipulative and conniving serial killer who murdered 7 men between 1989 and 1990.
Think about running back in the car or anything, I would start shooting out from out of the car.
Wuornos claimed that the men had assaulted her while she was engaging in sex work and that she killed them in self-defense. However, the prosecution successfully argued that the murders were financially motivated and that her self-defense claims were not credible. She was also found to be a clinical psychopath in a psychological assessment following her arrest. Wuornos ultimately received 6 death sentences and was executed on October 9, 2002.
The heck with what... It has nothing to do with the number killed. It's the principle. But they're saying, if there's a number, no. Self-defense is self-defense no matter how many times it is. I don't care if it's 100 times.
Number 2, Samuel Little.
How does someone like this continue to move around the country?
There's some individuals they really don't speak on a lot.
Samuel Little.
And I wonder, is it because they can't put a definite, like, truth to his, I guess, supposedly all his victims?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Country and continue to wreak this carnage and not have any of these charges stick enough to take him off the street.
It's amazing how few people have heard of Samuel Little, considering he's the most prolific serial killer in American history. While he was only convicted of 8 murders, the FBI has confirmed at least 60 victims, and Little has confessed to 93. Like many serial killers, he often targeted people who were less likely to be missed or thoroughly investigated, including sex workers and destitute victims he found on the street.
But society doesn't see those people.
He picked people that he thought no one would notice if they were gone.
He also tended to strangle his victims, leaving behind little physical evidence for police to work on. As such, Little went undetected for decades, his crimes beginning as early as the 1970s and stretching well into the 90s. He received 4 life sentences and died in prison in 2020 at the age of 80.
That little road up there, on the side of that little road, she was like partially concealed by vegetation. I left her there.
Before we continue, be sure to...
That's crazy.
I didn't know he died.
I did.
Or recently, rather.
I did. I remember seeing something about it.
Like, I remember watching, like, one of his, like, I guess an interview or something, or whatever. And just the way he spoke, because like they say, he admitted to more, but just the way he spoke on it, it was just like still like that proud. I don't know. It was just weird. Like he was boastful. Smiling and being very boastful, and just like I said, this man is like sick. Yeah. Which, taking on these women lives.
But again, like I wonder why they don't report on him as much as they do the other ones.
Your settings and switch on notifications.
Weird though.
Number 1, Jeffrey Dahmer.
A gruesome story leads off our newscast.
Milwaukee police found body parts in a North Side apartment, and now they wonder if they've uncovered some kind of death factory.
Samuel Little may be more prolific, but it was Jeffrey Dahmer who got all the attention. That speaks to the heinous severity of his crimes, the extent of which are infamous today. While Dahmer committed his first murder in 1978, his crimes ramped up in the late 80s before exploding in the early 90s. Between 1990 and 1991, Dahmer murdered 12 victims, with all being killed and stored in his Milwaukee apartment.
Do you know what started it? Was there any kind of incident that you can remember?
To this day, I don't know what started it. And the person to blame is sitting right across from you. That's the only person. Not parents, not society, not pornography. I mean, those are just excuses.
It was during this time that Dahmer also attempted to make mindless zombies by pouring things like hydrochloric acid and boiling water into his victims' brains. Dahmer was later beaten to death in prison by Christopher Scarver, who said that God told him to kill Dahmer in an act of divine justice.
You may convince yourself that God has forgiven you, but you can never escape God's wrath.
It always catches up with you.
Do you know of any other prolific serial killers in this time period? Let us know in the comments below.
It's one of the most horrifying stories that I had ever covered.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from
So many innocent lives.
That is a fact. That is a fact, man. Oh man, RP to all the victims for sure though.
Facts.
And there's still so many that they didn't even cover, which is insane to think about, man.
Yeah.
But y'all spam us up in the comments, man. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and
We out.
Time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar. Let me watch out for my pocket.